Hello everyone, my greetings to one and all. This is the 8th session on economic reforms. In the previous session, you have learnt about the impact of economic reforms on foreign exchange reserves and foreign trade of India. I am Poonam Vohra from Egypt Economics Learning Center. This session focuses on the impact of economic reforms on education, employment and poverty in India. So let us analyze. In education sector, there has been an improvement in the literacy rate from 18.3% in 1950 to 69% in 2019. In 1991, India produced 50,000 engineers per year and mostly from government colleges. Whereas after 1991, there has been a spurt of private engineering colleges with estimated admission of 1.5 million students per year. Though there has been quantitative growth, but quality of education has remained poor by global standards. India's school system is plagued with high teacher-student ratio, mediocre learning outcomes, low enrollment ratio in higher education, educational attainment unrelated to employment, with only 47% considered as employable, then brain drain of skilled professionals, inadequate funding and infrastructure, lack of necessary skills among the professionals, and mounting problems of quality in rapidly growing private higher education sector. The quality of colleges is dreadful and half of the graduates are unemployable as they lack necessary skills. Now assess yourself. Some information is being provided here. You need to read and decide whether you will defend this statement or refute it and give its justification. I will read the information for you. Privatization has resulted in the growth of unaided private secondary schools. It will increase education equality and improve effectiveness. Hence, there is a growing willingness to encourage the role of private sector in alleviating some of the problems relating to primary or elementary education. Please check your answer. This statement is refuted because though there has been a mushroomed growth of secondary and primary schools, but it would likely to increase educational inequality without improving educational effectiveness, as the learning outcomes are only mediocre. So there is a need to strengthen the existing vast capacities and capabilities in a systematic manner to make this structure work. Let's recall that one of the objectives of economic reforms was to accelerate growth, promote labor-intensive technologies, and expand employment. With this background, let's have a look at the statistical information. As per the unemployment survey of 2015-16, labor force participation rate is estimated to be 50.3% at all India level. It implies that 503 persons out of 1000 persons aged 15 years and above were either working or seeking work during the reference period. If one looks at the sector wise employment growth in different time periods, one finds that during 1972-73 to 1977-78, employment growth in primary sector was 1.78%, whereas during the period 1999-2000 to 2009-10, it was negative 0.13%. That is, employment growth declined. In the secondary sector, employment growth was 4.78% during 1972-73 to 77-78, which declined to 4.64% by 2009-10. Similarly, in the tertiary sector, employment growth was 4.86% till 77-78, which declined to 2.83% till 2009-10. So, decline. In all the three sectors taken together, employment growth has declined from 2.61% till 1977-78 to 1.50% till 2009-10. Declined. During the same period, GDP growth has increased from 4.6% to 7.5%. The gap between growth of GDP and employment is termed as jobless growth. This is the impact of economic reforms on employment. This entire information has been sourced from NSS data on employment and unemployment. Now look at this statement and identify whether it is true or false. Give justification. The statement is, globalization has resulted in imbalance in the labor market, leading to more supply of labor, low wages and low level of income. Please check your answer. The statement is true. Decline in the growth rate of employment in organized sector has pushed a large number of labor force into the unorganized category. This has resulted in casualization and jobless growth promoted by new technological changes. Though a country like India needs labor-intensive technology, at least in the unorganized sector, to accommodate the job-seeking labor force. Hence, an imbalance in the labor market leading to more supply of labor, low wages and low level of income. Now, let's have a look at the poverty ratios. Poverty ratio did not improve at all till 1983 and remained a bit under 60%. It started declining gradually after 1983, but the big decline came only after economic liberalization. There are two conclusions on the trends in poverty. The first one is shown by the World Bank. According to the study, poverty declined by 1.36 percentage points after 1991. The major reason for decline in poverty is urban growth. The second conclusion is that in the post-reform period, poverty declined faster in 2000 than in 1990s. Here poverty declined by 2.2 percentage points per annum during 2004-05 to 2011-12. And the major reasons are higher economic growth, higher agricultural growth, rural non-farm employment, increase in real wages for rural laborers, employment in construction and in programs like Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. All these contributed to decline in poverty. As per the survey conducted by National Council of Applied Economic Research, inequality in India is much higher if income is taken as an indicator instead of consumption, and if non-income indicators like health and education are considered, then inequalities between rich and poor are much higher. Now look at this diagram. Here the information provided is about share of wealth by class. Also some information is provided. You need to answer one simple question on the basis of this diagram and the information provided. Credit Suisse Global Wealth Data Book for 2014 reports that bottom 10% of the Indian society owned merely 0.2% of national wealth, while the richest 10% have been getting steadily richer since 2000. The question to you is, what could be the reason for this inequality? Please check your answer. Two major reasons for existence of such wide inequality in India are the state of Indian agriculture and rural development. Indian agriculture is in a state of collapse as per capita food production has been going down. Also, rural infrastructure such as power, road transport and other such facilities are in poor state, and rural job scheme as well as public distribution system have been performing much below their potential. Now read this statement and justify. The statement is, due to liberalization, there has been rise in inequality despite better growth, and poverty reduction has been sluggish. The justification can be given by providing these reasons. There has been rise in inequality because of shift in earnings from labor to capital income. 2. The rapid growth of the services sector with a consequent explosion in demand for skilled workers. And 3. A drop in the rate of labor absorption during the reform period. So far as poverty is concerned, it initially rose in response to the economic crisis due to successful liberalization of the agricultural sector and substantial increases in procurement prices for food grains. It started to drop marginally. So the statement gets justified. To conclude, the past 25 years can be summed up as a story of private sector success and government sector failure. Though many old controls have been abolished, many still continue and a plethora of new controls has been created in the area of environment, health, tribal areas and so on. Social indicators of education, health and nutrition have improved much slowly, but the delivery of government services remains substandard. Political interference has eroded independence and quality of institutions ranging from police, courts, educational and cultural. India's economic reforms have transformed the country from low income to middle income country. But to become high income country, it has to liberalize further, improve its governance and raise the quality of institutions. It is well known fact that the process of globalization does not evolve equally worldwide, the countries which benefit the most are the ones which are best managed. I hope you have been able to analyze the impact of economic reforms on education, on employment, and on poverty. With this, the session comes to an end. Also, the unit on economic reforms gets complete. In these 8 sessions on economic reforms, you have understood the need and importance of economic reforms. What were the economic reforms comprising of? Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. You have also understood the impact of economic reforms on various aspects of the economy. You also have answered questions in between in each session. But these are not enough. In order to have a complete grasp over the topic, you need to answer all the questions as given in the assignment. So answer every possible question, whether they are multiple choice, assertion reasoning based, fill in the blanks, short answer type, case based, long answer type, any kind. Write answers for all the questions. More you write, more you will practice, better will it be. So, till the next unit, which is on demonetization, keep reading, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep updating yourself. Thank you.